Yo, are we live right now? Are we live and are we litty? Let's take a look here. Let's see. Let's take a look. Let me scream at the nation real quick. Okay, I think we live there. I think we live there. So YouTube be good, right? YouTube be good. There we go. How can I see the chat? There we go. Chat's good. All right. Yo, TikTok, what up? Let's see. Are we on TikTok? Let's see. Yep. All right, boom. I see us on TikTok, man. All right. So now we got some motion, man. We got some motion. Yo, Common, what's up, bro? We just over here trying some stuff out on this Halloween afternoon. Hold on, let me see if I can do this, right? All right, boom. Yeah, the comments go up. Let's see if I do it like that. Comments go there. All right. Yeah. So let's see. Let's see what things looking like right there. All right, cool. What up, Trent? What's going on with you, dog? You know what I'm saying? What up, everybody? What up, everybody? So yeah, just want to jump live real quick. Probably talk to y'all for about an hour. Spoiler alert, yo. I dropped that banger y'all been asking me for, man. I recorded it this morning. So a lot of people's been asking, like, yo, Tuck, do a film breakdown of Dallas Cowboys defense, do a film breakdown of Dallas Cowboys defense, do a film breakdown of Dallas Cowboys defense. And honestly, y'all, I wasn't going to do it. What's up, Regina? What's going on with you? Hopefully everyone's having a good Friday. Happy Friday. But at first I was not going to do it. But then yesterday I was sitting back watching the Ravens game and the Dolphins game. And of course, it was a boring ass game, to be honest with y'all, man. So uh, let me that. All right. Yeah. So I was sitting back watching the Dolphins game, also watching the Ravens game last night. And it was just like something just hit me, man. I felt inspired. So cut it off like in the first quarter. I think the Ravens won that game. And y'all forced me, y'all made me do it. I watched every Dallas Cowboy defensive snap this season, y'all. Now, of course, a lot of people know I have software that can run it for me and make it easy, but I watched every Dallas Cowboy defensive snap and really started to roll up my sleeves and kind of figure out what's the issue, right? What's the issue going on from last year to this year? Is it just related to Micah? Was it Coach Zimmer? Like, there's a lot of different things that really goes into play. So I'm going to drop that as soon as I'm done with this live on my YouTube channel, CFO Sports. If y'all watch me on YouTube, you already know because y'all gonna get this shit as soon as I post it right here in a second. But yeah, man. Also this morning, reached out to my good friend Gerald McCoy, because when I'm in the lab, y'all, I don't like to coin myself as a know-it-all, but I have friends who's played at the NFL level at the highest level. So I called Gerald McCoy early this morning, man. You know what I'm saying? But people think I'm lying. People think I'm lying. Yeah. We was on here, you know what I'm saying? Me and Big G was on FaceTime this morning. Focus. You know what I'm saying? Me and my dog, Gerald McCoy, was in the lab this morning for about 2 hours, man, because I wanted to just double check my homework, make sure the stuff I was looking at was correct, right? And he gave me some nuggets, gave me some insight. So that's all translated on the film. It's a long film. It's like 23 minutes. I think 20 something minutes without the intros and all the glitz and glamour stuff, right? But I think Cowboys Nation will find a lot of value when it comes to that film. I think I saw a question. Do you think the guys believe in defensive schemes? I honestly don't think it's a non-belief thing, right? I do think it's kind of a coaching thing as well. I think it's a mixture of the two. Now, I don't want to spoil the video, right? Because then it's like, Tuck, why the fuck would I watch it if you just told me everything you're going to say in the video, right? But I do think it's a combination. I do think I lean towards coaching 60%, player personnel 40%, right? But there are some things that I'm seeing from players who have been established, who's been in Dallas, and it doesn't matter who the coach is, y'all, right? Playing with fortitude, playing physical, right? That has nothing to do with the scheme, right? That's more about your identity more than a scheme. I could mix a scheme from coach to coach to coach to coach, right? Aaron Donald's going to be Aaron Donald, right? Um, Max Crosby going to be Max Crosby, Micah Parsons. It don't matter what scheme, right? I can put LeBron James in Toronto, and I can put LeBron James in the Lakers, and it's still LeBron James. I think it's one who is Jay, cough cough. I hate that because I'm doing this restream thing, multi-stream thing. So my TikTok chats is over here, but the YouTube y'all chat is over here. So I'm like, if y'all see me looking both ways, I'm not going cross-eyed on Halloween, right? I'm looking at both chats. Um, but I think it's just some of those things that it's not being coached up properly, right? I also think it's being coached up properly. And whenever you scout, man, what's going on with you, JC? What's going on with your dog? My dog Angry in the building. What up? What up? What up, everybody? Hopefully y'all having a good one. Hope y'all getting ready to be dressed up for Halloween. I'm happy my kids are no longer at the trick-or-treat age. I ain't gotta walk around the neighborhood, but I do have a bunch of kids. They light my house up, because I live right by an elementary school. And of course, my wife's a teacher or slash principal, right? So I get kids at my house. It's gonna be nonstop. And my poor dog hates Halloween with the passion. So she got to come downstairs with me, and vibe out. But my dog hates Halloweens and all those damn trick-or-treaters, but they're gonna be geeked up because my neighbors, they have a whole display and shit. I don't say I'm the Scrooge of the neighborhood, but it's like I don't put out no Christmas decorations. I don't do all the extra shit, man. Just pull up. I got some candy for you and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? I ain't about to do all that extra. You know what I'm saying? I ain't about to do all that extra. All my dogs is angry. Head to DFW for Monday night, man. Hey, safe travels, my dog. Should be I want to say it should be a good game. Hopefully it's a good game, but Cowboys and Cardinals always kind of goes. Yeah. But yeah, so when I was watching the film, y'all, there's a lot of things. And where I'll teach you guys this, and when we kind of get into the draft stuff, which we're gearing up for here soon, I'm just trying to decide, do I need to start a new channel? Because for y'all on YouTube, I broke my algorithm. You know what I'm saying? I broke my algorithm when I was doing all the crazy shit, talking college and other teams and all sorts of stuff. So I broke my algorithm. So pretty much what people are telling me, like, yo, Tuck, you need to have your channel for Cowboy stuff and build a separate channel for draft and, what I'm saying, in college football stuff. Because the past month, every video I dropped was only getting 300 views, 200 views, 400 views. And I ain't had to deal with that shit since I first started, right? So pretty much what was happening is that when I was doing the college football stuff and all sorts of stuff on this one channel, the algorithm said, all right, bro, I don't know what you're doing. So I broke it. So now I have to get my algorithm back. So I might start a separate channel just for draft content alone, where all that film is going to be. But I'll teach you guys this as we gear up for draft season, is when you're scouting these players, right? You want to focus on core values. Core traits is what they call it in the scouting world, right? And what those are the things that translate, right? Simplify it, basketball. You can just see a kid at the park. Hey, man, they can run fast. They can jump high. They have a big, strong build. I mean, look at their shoulders. Look at their calves. They have a 45-inch vertical. Like those things that really doesn't take a strong scouting odyssey is kind of your core values, right? Then you have the positional values. That's like from an offensive lineman. How are they in gap blocking? How are they in pass pro? How are they, in zone? Like all those different types of things that really just adds up. So when I'm watching the Cowboys players, right, the positional stuff, the scheme, the alignment, the awareness is off. But the problem I'm really seeing is just playing from a core value. I'm not seeing a lot of players explode off the line of scrimmage. I'm not seeing proper hand placement. I'm not seeing anchoring in and using proper leverage on their pushing in the defensive trenches, right? I'm not seeing a counter move to disengage from blockers. Like I'm not seeing a lot of those things. And that's just with the front seven, right? And then at the linebacker level, one of the things I was really noticing is there is some hesitancy to read and react. And it could be one, Shamar James is a rookie, so I really won't hold him to that. Maris is kind of new, but even with Kenneth Murray, there's not a lot of quick reading and reacting, that I'm seeing on film. Secondary, from a corner standpoint, right? Man is not bad. I'm saying? Man defense wasn't bad. The zone, and I'll show that in the film, showcase that in the film, man. It's just too much wide of a cushion, right? There's a play that I break down that has Bryce Young is versus Carolina, and it was 3rd and 8, and we come out and cover 4. And I don't care if you are extreme knowledge when it comes to football or you don't know anything, right? Pretty much when you come out and you see our zone shell, you can see it's cover 4 clear as day. Like there's no hiding it, there's no masking it. It's just pure 3rd and 8 cover 4, right? So it's cover 4. Then you had Trayvon Diggs playing like 9 yards off, 10 yards off in the first place. What's up, Trey? What's going on with you, dog? 10 yards off, 3rd and 8, 10 yards off, cover 4, right? So then Bryce Young simply recognizes it, right? But Trayvon is doing the proper technique, right? He's in his back pedal, giving even more cushion. And when I tell you guys, Bryce Young stared down his primary read the entire, like his helmet didn't move. Like if it was a Madden cone, it was just locked on square, right? And Trayvon, instinctually, he wanted to jump it, but I can see that he's probably been reprimanded for getting beat deep. He played his own, right, which was an easy cushion. So, it was some of those things that I really saw on film. And I'm just like, I get some of the frustration because if it's 3rd and 8 and I'm playing 10 yards off just to begin with, it's clear as day. It's cover 4, right? So I have my quarter, meaning my quarter. The safety has their quarter. The other free or safe, strong safety, depending on what side it is, has their quarter, right? And then the other person has their quarter. The other quarter on the other side has their corner, right? Well, if I'm already playing 10 yards off, it's 3rd and 8. The ball snaps, and I'm in my back pedal. Well, what am I doing? I'm giving you even more cushion underneath. So even if you guys just play Madden or just simple college football or whatever, right? How do you beat cover 4? You attack it underneath. Like it's just simple, right? It's a simple concept, right? Out routes, comeback routes, hitches, curls, even slants. You can do smoke screens like to beat cover 4 because you have that much cushion. And I just think that there's something situational when it comes to awareness of where we are as far as the game is concerned. And just aware of down and distance for whatever reason, we're not being putting our defensive players, our secondary specifically, in good situations. And when you have a defense that can't generate pass rush, that's even worse, right? So I just think it's a mixture of a lot of things. Now, I guess I will go ahead and ruin the movie for you. Is the Dallas Cowboys defense fixable? It is. It's 100% fixable, right? And you don't even need a trade to do it, right? So that's the positive side. All right. The negative side is, how do you fix it? You fix it with coaching. All right. And in week 9, I highly doubt coaching can change their philosophy at this point and transcend our personnel, if that makes sense, right? If this was something you noticed like week 1, maybe you can possibly fix it. But, simple things like, if you're a Cowboys fan, and this is crazy to me because Eberflus was a Marinelli disciple, right? The one thing that Marinelli always taught and preached, he didn't give a damn who it was or what it was, right? You will play your responsibility and you will run to the ball. If you don't do anything else under Rod Marinelli, You will play your assignment and you will run to the ball. That's you will do that. That's why Rod Marinelli and Tristan Hill's kind of like they never really mesh, right? Because he was too lazy Rod Marinelli, I don't want to say Tristan Hill was lazy, but Rod Marinelli just didn't like his effort, his motor. Now, there were some plays that Rod Marinelli kind of brought it out of Tristan Hill, but the one player that really bodies what Rod Marinelli was, and it wasn't sexy. He wasn't attractive. Some Cowboys fans hated it. I loved him, right? DeMarcus Lawrence, right? When it came to DeMarcus Tank Lawrence, and still to this day, you know two things about DeMarcus Lawrence. He is going to do his job, and he's going to give you consistent effort. Now, is he going to have godly sacks, right, like Myles Garrett or even Micah? No, right? But he's going to do his job, set the edge, anchor in, right? Play assignment-based football and flow to the ball, right? And so, do I think some things are being lost in the absence of Micah? Yes, because there's no vertical threat, right? What I mean by a vertical threat, right? Players that can just get off and get upfield, right? So you think about this once again. If I'm in pass pro, right? And let's say I'm playing right tackle, right? I know, that's number 11 right there, or number 1. You have to, as soon as this ball is hiked, get the hell up out of there, right? And kick hard. So sometimes you would see players or offensive linemen even over kick just to, right? You got to shoot out because he's coming, right? Pause if you want to, right? I don't think we have a guy yet that can showcase that where offensive linemen are twitching, right? Like, you'll twitch, like they'll twitch a little bit, like, I got to get out this stance, right? Because if not, I'm going to get beat. If there's anyone who I saw on film that possesses that talent, it's going to be Donovan Ezekuraku, y'all. He's getting there, right? He's getting it, right? He's getting there. But I feel like if there's anyone on the defensive line that can become a guy that's going to force you to kick and drive hard out of your stance on passing downs, it's going to be Donovan Ezekuraku, right? But you have to put him in optimal places for that to really transpire. And what do I mean by that? Donovan Ezekuraku, even though I loved him out of Boston College, he needs to be your Timu Micah Parsons. But in this case, he needs to be used differently than Micah was used, in something I've made, if you follow me on YouTube, that I've made hours and hours and hours of case studies about using Micah Parsons, right? What's up, my dog, JC? What's in the building? What's going on with you, dog? You need to move Donovan Ezekuraku across the defensive line and create optimal mismatches for him, right? Not just have him on the left edge or sometimes on the right edge. You need to have him in situations where if your center is dog food, then I want Donovan Ezekuraku pass rushing versus your center, right? If your left guard is dog food, right, then line Donovan Ezekuraku up over the left guard. He is a guy that I think if, in most cases, right, he's not going to beat your Lane Johnsons, your Penny Sewells. Like, he's not going to beat those guys, but your quote-unquote prototypical offensive lineman, say average offensive lineman, right? I think Donovan Ezekuraku can win those pass rush opportunities if they're at 1v1 situations, 1 versus 1, right? Man on man, mano a mano, right? I think he has the ability to do that. But also, if you have Donovan Ezekuraku rushing over the center and rushing over the guard, then what happens is their offensive line has to make adjustments and adjust accordingly. So maybe they run their slide protects towards his side, right? Which can then create one-on-ones for Clowney, James Houston, Dante Fowler. The list goes on and on, right? But you have to put stresses on the offense. Because as of right now, y'all, it's just, hey, I'll be honest with you guys. Osa's not getting it done. He's not. Kenny Clark is a guy, but he's not that guy, right? He was never going to be a pressure guy, right? So our perimeter has to play better. Me personally, just me. There's no disrespect because I bet. Well, I didn't say bet the house on him, but I had high hopes for this player. I'm kind of over the Sam Williams experiment. His snaps need to drastically decrease, and other edges need to drastically increase. Sam Williams. So Sam Williams is the opposite, right? Going back to core traits versus positional. You want someone that's physical, tough, just grown man strength, right? That's Sam Williams. But it takes more than that. How was your hands? Are you shooting in the right gap, right? Are you playing with integrity? Like, what's your counter move on your pass rush ability, right? Are you setting the edge? Are you not letting offensive tackles cross your faces on zone? Or are you able to win 1v1s versus simple tight end blocks? Like, those are the things when you watch Sam Williams film is not showing up. Sam Williams is a guy that you could probably put him at running back. He probably could play running back. You probably put him at linebacker, right? He has all those core traits, size, physicality, speed, acceleration, change of direction, but the positional aspect is not matching up with those traits and is causing a lot of disruption when it comes to our defense, right? So personally, I would be over the Sam Williams experiment. Two, outside of Kenny Clark, outside of Solomon Thomas on occasions, the Dallas Cowboys need an interior guy back. Interior guy back. Too bad getting a defensive coordinator because this dude run the same junk for 2018. Hey, man, I haven't played Madden in weeks because I've been so busy with content and all sorts of stuff. I jumped on Madden yesterday and I shut down this dude with the Lions. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, hey, man, Matt Eberflus might need to holler at your boy. You know what I'm saying? Matty E might need to holler at your boy because I had the Lions bagged up. You know what I'm saying? Now, it was a lot of work. Playing with the Cowboys on Madden right now is a lot of work. I had a headache. You know what I'm saying? Because I got one sack, and I ain't gonna front. I subbed Overshown back in. Sue me, right? But it was a lot of work with that Dallas Cowboys defense. But Matty Eberflus might need to call me, right? But I damn sure wasn't playing a lot of zone. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. But yeah, this is some of those things. So I will say this, like I said, sugary side of it, optimistic, hopeful side of it, it's fixable. The negative side of it was going to take coaching. I don't know. So I don't know, but it is fixable. Are we able to fix it by the time we get to Philly, Kansas City, Detroit? I don't know, but there has to be something that lights a fire in this defense. And I think that what happens is, what's it called? Body dysmorphia, right? Where people think they're skinny, but they're actually fat, or you know what I'm saying? It's something mental. I think it's the same thing when it comes to the Cowboys defense, right? Because if you think about it, they had good showings, decent showings, and then horrible showings. So we have to stop acting, and Matt Eberflus was talking about this, we did a lot of good things versus Washington. Bro, let's keep it a buck. There was no Terry McLaurin. Debo was out. Jaden Daniels had some wide receivers wide open. They was just dropping the ball, but we got the win. We had to stop acting like you guys actually did something. You know what I'm saying? Right. Justin Fields is like, so I think this is the thing. Like, there has to be something that says, yo, y'all aren't good at all. Right. And came in on that. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to have to like get some realization that this is a serious crisis across the board. It can't be, oh, we showed some things that we really like. No, this has to be considered. If you want to save the Dallas Cowboys defense this year, it needs to be considered a crisis from the organization and Jerry and Steven down to the coaching staff with Brian Schottenheimer and Matt Eberflus and his staff, and also down to the players. You know, so it is fixable. It is the Dallas Cowboys defense is fixable this year, even if they don't make a trade. But the problem is it's going to take a lot of good coaching, and it's going to take a shift in mentality and identity in these players, which if I had to bet money on it, I wouldn't really put that in my parlay slip. Oops, I can't. My bad. I can't say that word on TikTok. My bad. My bad, TikTok. I know I can't say that BET word for some weird reason. All right. But yeah. Let's see here. But yeah, I'm gonna drop that film session in about 30 minutes on my YouTube channel. I'll post a link in both. The offense had to become a full-fledged juggernaut in order for us to win. No. They didn't have to become a juggernaut for us to win. They have to become a juggernaut, bro, just for us to be in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the crazy part. You know what I'm saying? Like, look how well our offense had to play versus New York. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy just to be in the game or have a chance to win. You know what I'm saying? Our offense has to be in Super Saiyan mode. If they have a okay day or what happened versus Denver, a night off, it's going to be bad for the Dallas Cowboys, right? It's going to be extremely bad. Dallas Cowboys winning no playoff games this year, as usual. I mean, cool, bro. Cool analysis, right? Who do you think we're going to pick up? Honestly, I made the video yesterday. I don't think there's going to be anyone worthwhile. I would be 1,000% shocked, Cowboys Nation, if the Dallas Cowboys trade any of those first round picks. So whoever we trade for is not going to be first round pick worthy. So you can toss out the Maxes. You know, I'm not sure what other name. I know there was kind of a Simmons mentioned. I mean, you could do Jalen Phillips, but I don't honestly think, like, here's the thing, y'all. It doesn't matter who you bring in if they're not coached up properly, you know? So, do I think the Cowboys will make a trade? Depends on how Monday goes. But do I think it's going to be this earth-shattering trade where we all sit back and go live and be like, oh, we did it. I can't believe it, right? Is it going to be Pickens-esque? No, I don't think so. I don't think it's going to be Pickens-esque, right? Because remember, Pickens was the third option. It was draft the wide receiver. They struck out in the draft. It was Rashad Bateman. Ravens hung up the phone on us. And so that was the third option. You know what I'm saying? So, it depends. If we show a glimmer of hope Monday versus the Cardinals, maybe. But you have to think about this, Cowboys fans. Let's say we lose to the Cardinals. A trade is not going to save this season. All right? The trade is not going to save the season. And why the fuck was Bateman preferred over GP? Because Bateman fits the mold, right? He's a guy that can get open, right? He fits what Dak traditionally likes. Probably doesn't come with a lot of baggage. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, so it was one of that. Even Pickens was a steal because Pittsburgh was ready to move on from him. Right. You have to find someone who is willing to part ways with their guy. Right. And I don't think the Raiders are that. So honestly, the Raiders are a good team. They just need their quarterbacks to play better. If they would just go trade for a quarterback, they might be all right. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think the Raiders are in a situation where it's like, you know what? We want to get Max Crosby out of here so bad. We're going to eat this dead cap. Be gone. In a passing league, traditionally smart NFL teams don't just move on from dominant pass rushers, right? Unless there's a lot going on, you know. So the odds to be able to trade for Max Crosby, I would say is slim to none, right? Because think about this, y'all. You heard the rumors, and I think they was possibly true. You heard what Philly was offering for Myles Garrett. Cleveland ain't winning shit anytime soon. And they still told Howie no. You see what I'm saying? Because NFL teams are smart. Well, some. All right. But if I'm the Raiders, I trade Max Crosby to the Cowboys. Okay, cool. I get the Cowboys first round pick. I get the Packers first round pick. And maybe another future first round pick. Well, traditionally, if the Max Crosby was to turn around the Dallas Cowboys defense, our pick is probably what? Pick 25, 23, 22 or above if we don't make the playoffs, right? Right now, the Green Bay Packers have the best record in the NFC and probably be playoff bound unless they have some key injuries, right? So these NFL teams know these Cowboys picks and these Packers picks, they not going to be worth shit. If I'm going to trade Max Crosby, I'm going to try to get the Titans on the phone, right? Or the Dolphins on the phone or something I can flip. What are you going to do with pick 22 and pick 29 of this year's draft? It's pretty much borderline a second round pick. Not for Max Crosby. But I'll ask you guys this. We just played the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos don't have elite pass rushers across the defensive front, right? They got some good guys. I love Nick Bonito, right? They have some good guys, but it's not like they have a Max Crosby. It's not like the Denver Broncos have a Micah Parsons. It's not like the Denver Broncos have a Myles Garrett or a TJ Watt. You see what I'm saying? They have a group of guys, but they're revved up. You see what I'm saying? They're revved up. Think about this last year, right? It's not the same anymore, but the Washington Commanders, they had Payne, right? They had our old guys, right? They had our old guys in Dorrance Armstrong. They had our old guys in Dante Fowler. And their front was revved up, right? So, you know, you got to have the opportunity to stay on go. But, yeah, Nick Bonito is good, right? Nick Bonito is a good edge, but he's not, you don't mention Nick Bonito in the same breath as Myles Garrett, Micah Parsons, TJ Watt, Nick Bosa, right? He's been good, right? But he's not godly when you think about him from that standpoint. See what I'm saying? They have exactly, Raymond. They have a group of guys, and they have some talent. I'm not saying the Broncos have talent. They have talented guys, but we have talented guys, right? You have talented guys. Yeah, he's top 10. I'll probably say top 10, right? Top 10 talent, which Osa should be considered top 10 talent, right? Kenny Clark, I would probably say is a top 10 talent. Dante Fowler, who come over from Washington, has been, top in statistical category when it comes to sacks, right? So we have it. You have to coach it up. It has to be coached up. It has to be an identity thing. It has to be a mentality thing, right? Now, bro, that is a good assumption, bro. Could Osa have just been a benefactor of Micah? Mm. Mm. I don't know. That's a whole discussion for a whole other day, right? I'll probably have to go back and watch his snaps with Mike on the field versus out without it, right? But I would have to wonder how many 1v1s was Osa getting because of Micah, but not only because of Micah, also DeMarcus Lawrence, right? So that's a whole different research project. I was up till 2 a.m. last night, y'all, watching film. So I ain't got another research project in me anytime soon. You know what I'm saying? The next one probably be in a few weeks. You know what I'm saying? But any other content creator want to do that, feel free. But I'm not about to look at all Osa snaps with Mike on the field versus off of it because I'm done. Even though I can easily do it. All right. Yeah, Los, you still have to be coached up. Identity, right? There was a reason why, even though you did have the Micah Parsons factor with Dan Quinn took a bunch of the same guys that was with Mike Nolan. The next year, they turned up, right? How? Because Dan Quinn said, okay, normally from Seattle and Atlanta, I was a cover 3 guy. But shit, I got Trayvon Diggs and Deron Bland. These guys can bag up. We're going to play some more man. Right? So the whole identity of the Dallas Cowboys defense was what? And we can all say it together in unison. Was get after the quarterback and force turnovers. That's what he had to do. Right? That's the one thing you knew as a Dan Quinn defense. Hey, we are going to get after the quarterback and we are going to try to force turnovers. Now, some of the other shit, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Don't put that on my tab. But the one thing you knew when it came to Dan Quinn was, hey, we're going to pass rush by any means necessary. And I want my corners and safeties to keep their eyes on the ball and go make things happen. All right. Now, when it comes to Matt Eberflus, it's, we're going to stop the run. We have a bend but don't break mentality. Just let them inch their way downfield and strengthen things up once we get into the red zone. Right? That is not a philosophy that, and I'll ask you guys, if you were a defensive player, what would you rather hear from your coach? We gonna go, we gonna hunt the quarterback, we gonna eat. And when the quarterbacks get the ball at their hand, corners, y'all not gonna have to cover for long, jump on it, make plays, and take calculated risks. Right? Or, hey guys, we're gonna play our assignments and we're gonna have bend but don't break. I think the first one, me personally, as a defensive player, I would probably like option number 1. Right? So, and then with Zimmer was a tactician, right? Zimmer was different from Dan and Matt, all right? Because Zim was a mad scientist on the back end, and that's why you saw that game with Jaden Daniels, right? When we played them in Washington, it was like a deer neck because Zim does all these different things post-snap. Oh, it's a cover 4. Okay, I know it's a cover 4. But with Zim, it looks like a cover 4, and all of a sudden, it shifted to a Tampa 2. So you're hesitating. Oh shit! Wait, hold on. It's not cover 4. Why this outside linebacker just drop into the flat? Okay, it's cover 2. Let me come up off of that. Let me get to my second read, right? But now I'm getting pressure, right? That's the game that Zim used to play, right? That double A gap mug where you didn't know who was coming, who was going, cornerback blitzes, like all sorts of stuff. It had like Mike Zimmer, wherever he's at with his beautiful wife on a beach or whatever, right? The one thing I'll say about Mike Zimmer would have had Bryce Young in a fucking blender. Mike Zimmer would have had Caleb Williams in a fucking blender. He would have had those boys in hell. He would have had those boys miserable. That's the one thing I can guarantee you, Mike Zimmer, even with Micah, without Micah, he would have had Caleb Williams and Bryce Young and Justin Fields fucking miserable. And possibly Jalen Hurts. Right? Because the things that he does on the back end is difficult. Because there are times I'll be watching Mike Zimmer's defense. I used to be like, man, what the fuck are we running? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. we doing some wild shit, right? But you have to accommodate for that because you did have Micah Parsons. You did have DeMarcus Lawrence before injury, right? But you had the A-gap mug, right? Then you had Eric Kendricks, and then you had Maris Leofow, who got a lot more reps under Zimmer, right? Is he coming? Is he going? Is he showing? Is he going? Right? Okay. Right. Slide protect. We slide to the right because that's where 11 is. We're going to slide to the right, right? All of a sudden, we feel like we have the numbers. All of a sudden, instead of Maris coming and rushing the A gap, right? Now I have Jordan Lewis blitzing off the edge. And then now Maris is shooting over into the flat or playing the hook. Like there's a lot going on. You know? So that's what Zimmer was able to do. I don't see that in Matt Eberflus. So it's a gumbo of disaster, I would say, right? You're seeing bad scheme, lack of creativity, lack of fundamentals, lack of toughness, right? And a lot of unassignment playing football playing, right? So I would say those are the 5 things. Now, once again, they are fixable, but it depends on how much y'all believe in the coach. So I'm going to leave it at that, right? But I'm going to drop the video here shortly. I'm going to post the link, man. Y'all go check that out. But yeah, it's like 23 minutes, but I broke down. Like I said, I watched every snap last night on the defense, and just kind of to see if I saw something. The pass rushing games are horrible, and that's what I talked to Gerald McCoy about. I'm like, bro, is this fixable? Because like, why is our stunts, our twist, like so clunky? And I'll explain that in the video why. You know what I'm saying? Because it really shows that, hey, no one's playing with their hair on fire. I'll ask you guys, who is playing with their hair on fire defensively? Talk about the prolific offense putting up 10 points in the second half against the Panthers. All right, cool. Players checked out because they don't believe in the system or coach. Possibly. You probably want Zeke back. We're getting some of the Twitter people in TikTok. I'm getting some of the Twitter people in TikTok. Fucking dick riders. Weapons all over the field and play like trash on the road. Talk about that. Who are we talking about, bro? Fuck. Excuse me, YouTube, but I'm streaming on TikTok too. So we got some people that are new to the whole J-Tuck experience. So y'all might want to go over there on TikTok and let them know I'm not one of those goofies to be fucked with. You know what I'm saying? Y'all might have to go over there and tell them, because we got some goofies over here wanting to have fun. I haven't figured out how to turn on mods over there, So they're safe right now, but eventually, once I turn on the mods on TikTok, my mods are going to shoot y'all dead in the fucking street. They care less. CFO gang don't play. We don't do no, especially when we working and we trying to find solutions. We ain't got time to play with y'all goofy ass. Oh, what did Dak do in the second half? No one gives a fuck about that. We're trying to focus on getting better. Now, you can go to other channels and laugh and troll and bitch and play and have fucking recess. That ain't how we get down over here, bro. You know what I'm saying? So just let y'all know. We welcome everybody, but we don't do the stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? And my dog Rome says, hell yeah, I'll take Zeke back with that shotty. I mean, honestly, shotty would probably fuck with Zeke heavy. To be honest. My dog Rome, man. What's going on with you, my dog? You know what I'm saying? Let me share this with Knicks and we will clear out the goofies. Yeah, man. I see if I can do it on here. Oh shit. Hold up. Hold on. Oh shit. I figured out how to do it. Hold on. Oh shit. Yeah. Now we passing out ratchets on TikTok like fucking Killmonger. Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, I'm coming in strapping the whole hood up, Killmonger style. They all getting ratchets. All getting ratchets now. All right. Come here. Yeah. Now I figured it out. Yeah. Isn't that simple? You know what I'm saying? Now we passing out ratchets to the hood. So, TikTok, I'm going to give y'all the same message I gave YouTube. If somebody come in our chats and they say some shit that we don't like, snipe their ass and let God sort them out. You know what I'm saying? Snipe their ass and we'll figure it out later. Right? We ain't got time for that. Shit, I've been up since 2 a.m. watching film. I ain't trying to play with no goofies right now on a fucking Friday. I still gotta get my Halloween costume right. You know what I'm saying? I still gotta get Halloween plans. I ain't got no plans, no nothing. My wife wants to do something, but it's cold outside. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So we're gonna shoot them. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna shoot these people right on site. So y'all should be as mods. I'm not sure if y'all getting those mod notifications. All right. Bands will continue with morale improves. You know what I'm saying? Hey, bro. Y'all know my motto. If I lose 10 followers, I'll gain 30 back in the morning. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, shoot them people. We ain't got time for all that. All right. Where was I? Yeah. So getting back to it. Yeah. Pew, pew, CFO gang. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think, like I said, defense, it's a work in progress, right? But coaches have to be better, but not just putting it all on coaches. The players have to be better too. Somebody needs to step up and really become that guy when it comes to our defense, y'all. And, you know, so we'll get Monday night, bye week. Overshown should be back by Vegas, right? Do I think Overshown could be that guy? Yeah. But I don't want to put a lot on Overshown that he has to hit the ground running, coming back off that knee injury, and just turn around and be all pro. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot to put on someone's shoulders. Just getting Overshown back is a win in itself. We sure thinking Thanksgiving. It has to be Vegas because his 21-day window would be up. So your 21-day window, you got to make a decision, right? And if he's not active he has to be on the active roster. I mean, he doesn't have to play necessarily, right? But he has to be on the active window by the time that 21-day window closes, or you lose him for the season. So, Tuck, are you going to Vegas? Great segue, Juan Cooper. Great segue. For all my CFO gang, right? The day ones, the true supporters, right? For those of you who are going to Vegas, how do you do this, right? DM me somewhere. Instagram, I guess if y'all want to DM on Twitter, wherever, or just let me know in the chat, right? Because Saturday night, but the plan is that I want to have a party at a nightclub. Thinking about Dre's, right? I'm talking to my friend at Dre's, right? where we pull up CFO gang to Dre's nightclub in Vegas, let bottles fly, let girl bottle chicks come by with sparklers with CFO gang and Dez Carter on the marquee, and just have some fun Saturday night. Because we don't play till Monday. So if you got to wake up hungover on Sunday, you'll be perfectly fine, right? So I want to do that with the gang and the fam. I did that in during the Super Bowl, but we didn't go to a club. We went to a disclosed location and had a blast. You know what I'm saying? But 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 if y'all gonna be out, let me know, man, because I can make sure I can get y'all on the list. You know, how many people I need to plan for and do all that stuff, man. So my dog Juan says I'm there. You know what I'm saying? He said, let me start an argument. No. Swain said, let me start an argument with my wife and I'm in there. Nah, no, don't put that on me. Do not put that on me, man. Because at the end of the day, when you leave Vegas, you got to go home. You know what I'm saying? You gotta go home. You gotta go home. You know what I'm saying? Can't roll home with me. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, hey, don't let me mess up your happy home. You know what I'm saying? Because, hey, for someone who's been to Vegas frequently, goes out there pretty much every month, I've seen plenty of people ruin it out there in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, bro, that's a long flight home. And especially today, you know what I'm saying? Let's keep it a buck. Back when I was younger and used to go to Vegas, it was what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, right? What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, and you might be able to get away with it, though I never even tried, right? Because, you know what I'm saying, back then I was single, right? But nowadays, bro, that shit doesn't work. It doesn't work. I always give a fake name when I'm out in Vegas. I say my name is Jason, right? Jason, right? Because girls are like, oh, what's your name? Like, I'm not trying to, you know what I'm saying? I'm happily married. What's your name? I'm not trying to do all that, right? I give them a fake name. They still find me. I had a chick the other day follow me on TikTok that I met in the casino. How the fuck did she do that? AI shit or whatever, bro. Like, how did I give her a fake name? And she just, I don't know. I got a friend request on TikTok. Fuck. All right. So y'all be careful out there, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be careful out there. You know what I'm saying? Because it's different nowadays. You got AI, face scans. I remember I once went to Vegas a while back. This is before I was with my wife, right? Me and my homeboys went to Vegas and met some friends there from Canada, hung out. Once again, fake name. But we took a bunch of photos that I was kind of unaware of. I get to my Facebook, y'all. I am tagged in probably like 100 fucking pictures. Like, she tagged me in every picture. I'm talking about ones I shouldn't be tagged in. You know, Facebook is more like family or like I got my mom on Facebook, you know, my uncles and my aunties and pastor on Facebook. And I am tagging like 100 pictures while I'm in Vegas. And I reached out to her. I was like, how did you do that? She's like, oh, Facebook just recognizes your face from your other photos and it automatically tags you. I instantly hopped on the computer. How do I turn this shit off? You know what I'm saying? How do I turn this shit off? I damn had to call customer service. Like, what is going on? She's like, oh yeah, it's just facial recognition. So it automatically just found people that look like you and it just tagged. I'm just like, the fuck? I'm in the air waving high heels and dollar bill, all sorts of crazy stuff, all on Facebook. Yeah, 100 photos. You know what I'm saying? Crazy. So I can imagine how easy it is for getting y'all asses located today. That was years ago. You know what I'm saying? I can imagine how upgraded Facebook is today. Hell no, fellas. But to answer your question, we're going to have fun in Vegas. I'm just going to host it. I'm gonna sit back and let y'all have fun. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna be there. I'll be like the observer, making sure everyone's okay. You know what I'm saying? Because the last thing in the Super Bowl, 5 CFO gang members got lost. 5 of them. 5 of them got lost in the club. One got drunk and passed out in some random VIP room. One just left with some randoms and didn't tell nobody, right? The other 2, they had to go home because they wasn't going to make it, you know? And yeah, I don't understand, Siri, right? So the last CFO gang Vegas trip, you know what I'm saying? It ain't, you know what I'm saying? It didn't go too well. So I'm walking around the club and talking to the waitress, trying to find people, and they're giving me access to these back rooms to see if my friends are in there, and they're checking guest lists and all sorts of shit. And I said, finally, I'm just going home. You know what I'm saying? I'm too old for this shit. You know what I'm saying? So the last joint didn't go too well. But this time, I'm just going to be the overseer to make sure everyone in CFO gang has fun. You know what I'm saying? So we'll definitely be in attendance, man. I was trying to get my dog Roman DMV out there, but they can't make it. But we still going to have some fun, man. So yeah. So from that standpoint, y'all, what up, my dog? What's going on with you, bro? Talking about this Dallas Cowboys defense. Like I said, y'all, it's fixable, but it's going to take a lot of work. Can't take people nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Can't take people nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I get it, right? Because me personally, I go to Vegas so much, it doesn't excite me. Like, my brother gets to Vegas, he's just geeked up, right? Let's do this. Let's go to Hackathon. Let's go to this. Let's drink. Let's take shots. And I'm just like, hey, man, I'm about to go get me some Subway. I'm about to go to my room and vibe out. And then I'm going to come down to Casino and I'm going to gamble. I'm going to hit the sports book. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to vibe out. You know what I'm saying? But my friends, as soon as they get to Vegas, they're on 1,000. They're on go. And I'm just like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? So I just be chilling, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get the club excitement and all that stuff, man. But my excitement is a sports book. My club is a sports book. When I go to Vegas, I'm going to gamble and make money. You know what I'm saying? I could go do some social stuff, but it's like, I'm going there to make some money. You know what I'm saying? So as soon as I land, I switch clothes, and I right at the roulette table. That's me. That's my club. If I'm going to throw money, I'd rather throw it on the table than, in other places. I'm not getting no return on my investment. I'm married. You know what I'm saying? So ain't no point of me going to the club, throwing, now I've done it before, you know what I'm saying? But throwing thousands of dollars in the air, I don't get no return on my investment. I'm going to throw, instead of me throwing 5 bands at the club, I'm going to throw 5 bands that Schottenheimer and Dak going to beat the damn Raiders or something. So I can get some ROI, So yeah, but we're going to have fun in Vegas. Grown folks should know how to act. I'm just joining. So you think Eberflus should be gone or no? Brando, when do you think that? All right. When do you want? Let me ask you this: when are you wanting Eberflus gone? Do I think Eberflus is gone before the season is over? No. Could it be a possibility in the offseason? Yes. Right. Eberflus will get the scapegoat this offseason, move on. But yes, Wayne, exactly. You know what I'm saying? I ain't throwing 5 bands on nothing I can't, man. Yeah, man, listen. Ain't no way. You know what I'm saying? I've done it, but it was my best friend's bachelor party, right? So it's just like, okay. And he survived cancer. He beat cancer, right? So when we went to Miami, we acted a freaking fool, okay, for his bachelor party. But this ain't gonna be a normal thing. Sorry, bro, if I'm saying too much, but the photos are all on Instagram and shit. So, I'm saying this is what it is. When the season's over, Jerry's not going to do nothing. George Pickens is going to leave. I don't know. Jerry loves his offense, right? And I think that Pickens will stay in Dallas. I think that Pickens, if I had to bet money, I think that Pickens will get signed in Dallas, and Jerry Jones will have that press conference, and he'll smile and say, throw a jab at Micah, And that was the reason we were able to sign George Pickens, right? Yeah, George Pickens will get tagged, right? He won't be able to talk to anybody else. We'll tag him so we can't talk to nobody else. We'll drag it out to Robin Get Round, Showtime, and Oxnard possibly, right? And then we'll sign Pickens. And Jerry Jones will say, well, with the money that we saved on the Micah, we're able to sign not only Tyler Smith and Brandon Aubrey and Deron Bland, but we got us one hell of a wide receiver to partner with CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott. He's going, Micah, come here, crack Mike in the ribs real quick and use George Pickens to do it. You know what I'm saying? So 1,000%, I see the Pickens getting signed in Dallas, but he'll probably get tagged. He'll take a jab at Diggs too. Yeah, oh yeah. Little at Micah, little left at Diggs, little uppercut at Terrence Steele. Javonte Williams. Yeah. The only way Javonte Williams doesn't get signed is if Javonte Williams feels like, yo, I'm back, baby. I'm back feeling like Bijan or some shit, right? Then it's going to be like, all right, whoa. You know what I'm saying? You running all right. You doing all right, Javonte. Hey, don't be starting, you know what I'm saying, feeling like you Bijan or something like that, or you need Saquon money or something like that, because, you know what I'm saying, probably a cool little 3 years, 8 million, 9 million, something around there. But it's going to have to be shoddy probably to bang the desk for him. So it'll have to be shoddy to bang the desk for him. But because the running back class isn't that strong, to be honest with you guys. I'm still in the offensive line trenches, watching offensive line right now. Tucker, why are you watching offensive lineman? I don't want an offensive lineman because I just had like a way I do things, right? And I just like start with the offensive line, moving inward out, right? Offensive line, tight ends, wide receivers, running back, defensive line, defensive ends, cornerbacks, linebackers, safety, right? It's kind of how I just do it. It makes it easier for me. We could get a right tackle, or the argument could be made, do we need a left tackle? I didn't make an argument. I can make a strong argument for left tackle. And seeing if Guyton can be moved to his natural position, or could Nate Thomas or one of these other guys be right tackle? So I know it doesn't sound sexy, but we got 2 first-round picks, right? And I know we're about to go through, because I went through this in the Micah draft, right? And I remember it vividly. I was talking about, Kyle Pitts. I even said, if we can partner CeeDee Lamb with Jamar Chase, that would be fucking amazing. You know what I'm saying? Because I was having those conversations. And Cowboys fans would not let you draft a player that was not defensive. You know what I'm saying? They would not let you draft a player that was not defensive after that Mike Nolan year. So anytime I mention, man, you want to get Jamar Chase and CeeDee Lamb, what the fuck is that going to help our defense? It'll help our defense, all right. It'll help our defense a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? It will help our defense a lot. You know what I'm saying? So let's not act like the whole idea was insane. So I was like, bro, if Jamar Chase slides to you, because we're at 12 at the time, something like that, you grab him and you get the fuck up out of there. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. We don't need Jamar Chase. We got Michael Gallup and CeeDee Lamb and Amari. Oh, how did that work out, right? Man, even as much as I love Micah Parsons, if I could do that draft again, I'm drafting Jamar Chase and putting him with CeeDee Lamb every time. Bro, Jamar Chase and CeeDee Lamb would have been ridiculous. It would have been insane. You know what I'm saying? To hell with the defense. Draft me out there and let me play defense. I'll fix the rest. You know what I'm saying? But so we're going to be in a situation, y'all. Just prepare for it. Anytime Y'all mentioned a draft player and it's offensive. Cowboys fans are going to lose their minds, even if it does make sense. Even if you're like, yo, you know, we could probably get better at left tackle. No, 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 no. We need defense. We need defense. Like, all right, bro. Every pick need to be defense. You better not put one offensive player in your mocks, or that's going to be y'all ass, man. That's going to be y'all ass. So I was talking about Caden Proctor. I'm like, bro, Caden Proctor, I mean, he's young, Alabama, played with Booker. Like, you can strengthen up your offensive line for cheap. No, 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 no. Micah won player of the month. I know. I know. I know. I know. Hey, but he wasn't worth the money. You know, hey. Yeah, running back at Wake Forest. I mean, there's some guys out there, but the hard part, I'll tell you guys now, is if you're looking for the attractiveness of last year's running back class, it ain't there. Right? It's not there. It's not there. You know what I'm saying? I felt like Singleton and those guys, you know, Allen out of Penn State, man, drop the ball, but there's still opportunity there. But yeah, Michael Gallup we're still paying Michael Gallup. You know what I'm saying? Still paying Michael Gallup. So, yo, man, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I am now about to drop the film sessions for the Dallas Cowboys defense. Appreciate y'all if y'all go support it, man, because one, I was up a long time. Now, like I said, I went through and watched every snap, every snap of our defense, and it was fucking miserable, to be honest with you guys. It was, you know what I'm saying? It was fucking miserable. But I wanted to make sure I can really grasp what was going on. So YouTube, bang, post it right there. There it is. And then TikTok, boom. There's a link right there. All right. So I appreciate y'all, you know, don't get fired, right? You know, if you're at work and just need something to actually watch, go watch that film. Go ahead and comment. You must have been the 4 hours of pain Tua was talking about. It was bad. Philly game was good. The Giants game was kind of The Packers game wasn't as bad as I thought, right? Chicago was miserable. Washington was Panthers was miserable. And of course, Denver was just complete. Yeah. What was that intro track called when you did that show with Easy? So the intro track, that's just Easy to Block Captain Freestyle. If you search it on YouTube, it's probably the first thing's going to pop up, right? So I just took it off. But Easy is working on new music as we speak, getting ready for the battle versus Cassidy. I texted him this morning. Like, hey, bro, don't kill Cassidy, dog. Don't kill Cassidy for me, dog. But he's planning on killing Cassidy, dog. You know, you know what I'm saying? I was listening to Cassidy this morning in the gym, like, dog. Yeah. Justice Hayes, running back at Michigan. Do I like him, or from the Cowboys standpoint? Like him. As far as drafting a running back, it really depends on what we do in the offseason, right? If we resign Javonte for a 3-year deal, then I'm not going to be on the hunt for a running back day 1, day 2, right? It's a solid, good backup, right? You know, but if we're having the conversations where he might go, then yeah, we're going to have to really roll up our sleeves and go get one of those guys or bring in a veteran, because I think Jaden Blue can grow, y'all, but this is not there right now. It's not there right now. And it's okay to admit that. I don't know why some Cowboys fans don't want to admit that. I guess they don't want to be wrong about Jaden Blue. But it's not that we're saying he's trash or he's a bust, right? I'm just saying, like, where we stand currently right now in week 9, he's not ready. Like, it's okay to say a fifth round pick is not ready. I don't understand why people are getting so fickle about that. It's like, oh, these content creators just hate blue. Like, I'm not hating blue. I don't hate blue. I'm just saying, like, he's just not ready, right? Justice Hayes for the Cowboys, I would like him, right? But I think he's going to be a later guy. I think he's going to be probably a day 3 guy, to be honest with you guys. Pin. But yeah, I think when it comes to Jaden Blue, it's just like, damn, can we say, hey, our 5th round pick just not ready right now? Is that a bad thing? Is that hate? Right? You know? I don't think that's hate. I think it's just a fair analysis, right? And it's not just content creators saying that. Shotty was saying that. It's the reason why he was inactive the first few weeks. So I don't understand, but I get it, right? The mob mentality when it comes against content creators and like myself, I don't know. But yeah, I think that you can use blue in more of a gadget role, right? The lucky white. So all the bullshit that you was doing with CeeDee Lamb, them jet sweeps, and put him in the backfield, give those to blue. Screenplays, putting him on wheel routes out the backfield, like that's blue. But you're not about to run Jaden Blue between the tackles. That ain't his game. That's not his game. That's not his game. And probably never will be. Right? So if you're gonna put him out there, then you have to utilize him properly. Because if we're being honest, y'all, Deuce Vaughn was a better pure running back coming out of college than Jaden Blue is. You know what I'm saying? Deuce was more adequate as a complete running back than Jaden Blue. Jaden Blue isn't a running back. He's a weapon. He was a converted wide receiver to running back, right? So it's like you got to use him in that magnitude. Use him in the same manner you would probably use Turpin. See what I'm saying? How you feel about Tolbert being traded to the Titans for Devontae Sweat rumors? Shit, press start on that right now. We do need defensive tackle help. I know we talked a lot about the edges, but our defensive interior needs a lot of help as well. So if you got to move on from Tolbert for Sweat, I would, because I've been telling you guys this and want to sit back. I think they opened this window before I did. I am curious to see what Dak can do with Jonathan Mingo. I'm curious to see what Dak can unlock with Jonathan Mingo, because if we get that Ole Miss Jonathan Mingo with Pickens and CD, boo, shit's going to get scary. So if I had to move on from Tolbert to bring in Devontae Sweat, yeah, because I would highly doubt you sign Tolbert next year unless he wants to just be in Dallas and take one of those dirt cheap deals. But right now, we got way too much in the pipeline at the wide receiver position. We saw what Ryan Flo can do. We still have Trayshawn Holden, who we haven't unlocked. You have Jonathan Mingo coming out. Turpin still needs more opportunity, if you're asking me, right? So I would 1,000% consider it, especially when getting defensive tackle in return. Last good question, man. Tuck, you are the GM. How would you build this defense? Outside first or interior first? Always start with the interior first. Always start with the interior first. If you can strengthen the interior, it'll naturally improve your outside, right? So I would start with an interior, right? I would get me some more 3 techs, right? But if you're looking at off season, I am looking for a big, fat, nasty, Gary, high motor 1 tech, right? There's one coming out of Syracuse. Talked about him already on that other app, right? Dominic Orange, right? Right. If you go get that, because even with the offensive line, also defensive line, right? It's like a chain, right? The weakest part of the chain is in the middle. You can break the middle of the chain, everything else unfolds. You can break the middle of that chain, everything opens up. So for me personally, I would build defensive tackle, get that solidified, Next, I wouldn't even focus on the edges because I think edges are easily fixable. Linebacker play needs to get younger, more athletic, and more geeked up, right? Overshown shows those traits. Maris can get there. Shamar James can get there, but you need one of those disruptive guys at the linebacker position, right? So linebacker would be my second option. And then corners are probably an easier fix. I would probably go get me a veteran corner if I could to pair with Deron Bland. I do think one of the bright spots, and I didn't do his film breakdown, probably could though. But I think Reddy Stewart is playing okay. You know, he's showing some things there with Reddy Stewart. But yeah, champ, last one. I need a dynamic safety, bro. I need a dynamic safety. I just need one, right? I feel like our safeties are either one dimensional, one or the other. Do you think we could get Peter Woods? Depending on where you're picking, Peter Woods might be top 15. So as things are right now, yes. But a dominant safety, man. One of my favorite, well, a lot of my favorite players to watch in the league, which is surprising though, are safeties. Like one of my favorite all-time NFL player to watch, may he rest in peace, was Sean fucking Taylor. And that comes a lot from a guy who's a Florida State guy and Cowboys guy because he was a Miami Hurricane / Washington, whatever, right? But Sean fucking Taylor, love Sean Taylor, right? He can just do those things. And a lot of people, and I've always said this publicly, and people think I'm tripping. If there was any player Micah Parsons reminded me of, it wasn't Lawrence. It was the other Taylor. Micah reminded me a lot of Sean Taylor. Sean Taylor was a guy, it don't matter if I had him at safety, linebacker, running back, wide receiver, corner, he could dominate. Just talented as all get out, man. Fucking love Sean Taylor. When Sean Taylor passed away, I cried. I mean, I was on radio and my friends told me, like, yo, Sean Taylor just died. I was like, what? He was like, Sean, I was like, nah, hell no. Like, kind of like how you guys felt when Kobe got the Kobe, and that's how I felt with Sean Taylor, right? So love Sean Taylor. Saw it in chat. Troy Polamalu. Love Troy, right? Love John Lynch. Darren Woodson. Ed Reed. You know, safeties, they're your Swiss Army knife. And they can do a lot of things. They can do a lot of things and it can change. I mean, one of my favorite players, you know, people criticize me for him all draft season. I didn't give a fuck. I love me some Kyle Hamilton. I loved Kyle Hamilton. I seen Kyle Hamilton. Well, one, he tore up Florida State, but like I seen Kyle Hamilton when he was at Notre Dame just completely just break the game. You know? Another one play here in Kansas City. Eric Berry. Love watching Eric Berry here in Kansas City. You know? Then they moved on from Eric Berry and got the Honey Badger. You know? So it's time. You know? I do think we have some quality guys, right? But I think the Cowboys need one of one. One of those. We need one of those. We're long overdue. We've had our quasi wide receivers, our historical running backs, like New Age and Zeke, right? We had CeeDee Lamb, our new 88s. You know, we had our new edges in Micah, right? Overshown's kind of our new linebacker. Dak Prescott, new offensive lineman. We have not had that cornerstone safety since the great Darren Woodson. You know what I'm saying? So we just haven't had where, yo, the safety is the guy that's geeked up. That's our identity, right? So we need one. We're long overdue. I mean, I personally wasn't a fan of Roy Williams, right? Liability and coverage. He was more like a linebacker. But if you think about it, we have not had a cornerstone safety in our defense in a long, long time since the 90s. I don't even think Cowboys fans even know what it feels like. Some of y'all might not even know what it's like to have a dominant safety, right? So if you trenches, defensive tackle, linebacker, safety, fix the middle, and then you can supplement pieces on the perimeters. And I think that will help the Dallas Cowboys. But the most important thing, y'all, coaching must be better, man. So it's your boy Jay Tuck. Comment, like, subscribe from the YouTube side. TikTok, come over to CFO Sports. I posted the video in the link. Come on over there. Watch the film, man. I deeply appreciate it. Share it. I worked hard on that, y'all. I'm fucking tired. I'm about to go take a nap. But I really wanted Cowboys Nation to get that point across and really kind of see some of the things that's been transpiring with our defense. TikTok, if you follow me right now, hit the follow button. I appreciate it for TikTok. We're going crazy. We hit the 3,000 mark. I think we're at 3,400 now. You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and bust that 4,000 cap. Instagram is at 5,000 because y'all put some pressure on them, right? So let's go ahead and catch Instagram. Right. So let's get that 4,000 mark and keep applying pressure, Cowboys Nation. But I appreciate you guys. Of course, I'm going live more often. Now I know how to go live at the same time. So I ain't got to pick and choose because I've been going live on Instagram. Then I would get off of Instagram, go live on TikTok, get off of TikTok and go live on YouTube. Now I can go live at the same time in all three places. It just makes things so much easier for me. So we're going to do some more content. But yo, have a good Halloween, trick or treat, whatever y'all believe in. Have some fun. Be safe tonight. You know what I'm saying? Fellas, don't get in trouble. You know, Halloween is a day where they like to dress up and reveal who they really are inside. So y'all keep y'all head on a swivel and y'all have a good one. I want everyone to stay safe, stay blessed, stay encouraged, and go Cowboys.